What it do, man? It's James Vergato, once again of God Love a Genius. Subject of today's video, man, is there is a hell and it won't be empty. I wanted to go with that title, man, for several reasons. Regardless of your beliefs and what God you serve, I believe that when it's all said and done, man, there will be an afterlife and there will be a place for people that have executed many evil acts, man. I feel like they will suffer and be tormented. I ain't here to debate, whether there's a heaven or a hell, because you have the right to think what you think. It's just my opinion. Um, One thing I noticed about certain people in certain communities is whenever there's a funeral, um, nobody wants to assume that person could possibly have went to hell. Yet you go to the church and you always talk about, there was going to be people in hell, but for some reason we just never seem to think nobody's going to occupy that space every time we go to a funeral, and just because they went to church. And I think church has disrupted a lot of people's um spiritual relationship with God, because they just think it all starts and ends literally at the church. And when they walk in there, they think everything is gonna be, a easy road for them because, oh yeah, I went to church, so I'm good. And they not putting in any work. And those are where the most hell raisers are at. Funny story, man. I was talking to someone about um why I don't go to a particular church anymore. And I was like, I don't know how we got on it as far as why, I stopped attending or whatever. And I asked them, how do you feel about attending somewhere with that much chaos and so much mess, cause it's so messy. And they responded saying, well, it's messy people and it's chaos everywhere. I'm like, but you ain't been everywhere. You ain't even left. You know what I'm saying? So how you just gonna generalize the entire world when you ain't been across the entire world? I said, man, I don't know how messy it is or how chaotic it is, in other places, but I know for sure it's messy and chaotic there, and I ain't going. You know, people gonna always make an excuse for what they enjoy and what they like, and they're gonna always downplay something because they truly enjoy it. Friend of mine's, keep on complaining about certain things in his life or certain relatives, and I'm just like, bro, you like that because you keep entertaining it. I'm not finna entertain something, that's draining me, or like I don't like you like that. You like being in hell. And hell is not gonna be an empty place. I feel like the life you live is the life you gonna continue even when you leave here. However you see hell, or if you think it's gonna be, someone with a pitchfork or whatever the case may be, one thing's for certain: how you live your life, man, is gonna repeat itself in another form. And I'm trying to practice what I preach, man. I understand nobody's perfect. I understand that we're all gonna fall short. But I always tell people it's about the consistency of what you do that makes you who you are. In the end, you gotta treat it like pro sports. In the NBA, man, anybody at any given night is capable of dropping 50 points because they made it to the NBA. You got to be really good to make it to the NBA. You're not classified as an elite scorer if you're not doing that consecutive games, consecutive seasons. Any given night you can drop 50. That don't mean you like that. That just mean you drop 50 one game. But if you dropping 50, every season, you know what I'm saying, at some point, and you averaging 20, 20, 24, 25, 26 points a game, hey man, you really like that. You can hoop. You a scorer. You're an elite scorer. And I feel it's the same way in faith, whatever your choosing is. Um, Whatever God you believe in, there's a yin and a yang to everything. And I believe there's a hell. I don't care what nobody say as far as people think um things just happen. Nah, things that don't just happen, and ain't nobody gonna escape certain things they done. At some point, man, you gonna face some things. And there's levels to what you gonna face. And hell won't be empty. It's too many devils out here, man. It's too many devils, man. And a lot of these devils are wolves in sheep clothing, deceiving people, playing games, playing on both sides, saying one thing and doing another, saying one thing and actually committing the things they're talking about. These people are psychopaths. It's a war on your mind, body, and spirit, man, for real. But more importantly, it's really a war on your mind. That's where they coming at you at, man. And the tongue is the most powerful muscle, man. So a lot of people that say a lot of stuff that sound good and you getting caught up in an emotion of what they're saying, these people are the real devils. You know what I'm saying? Because they study their enemy. They study, the enemy. I was right the first time. You know what I mean? And they know what to say and things like that. This is another reason why I don't like attending funerals, because I'm just like, I get tired of this whole trying to hype people up, man, because they dead. And for some reason, people just we get too caught up in trying to sell a narrative and a storyline just because someone's not here in a physical presence. But it's hard for us to say stuff like that when they alive. That bothers me, you know what I mean? That troubles my spirit, because you got 24 hours, you know what I'm saying, to say whatever you need to say. And for some reason, as soon as somebody is gone for eternity, you want to say as many things to convince yourself this is how you really felt about that person. Not everybody, but it's a good bit of people like that. That's just human nature for some reason. And I just really believe, man, that hell is going to be very occupied, man, because it's too many hell raisers and there's too many people playing with fire, and they playing with God, and they playing with his people and his kingdom, and they playing with, um, narratives and things like that to make themselves look a certain part. It's dangerous out here, man. You got to really stay prayed up, and you really got to be very careful and cautious of who you entertaining, because it's a war outside. You know what I'm saying? And people's souls is being taken, man, because they falling victim to these devils. You know, it's just something I had to get off my chest, man. I had to state that, man. Once again, man, there is a hell and it won't be empty. If you made this far to the video, man, I want to say thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the God Level Genes YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you stay in tune with the content, man. I am James Vergado, and as always, be God level. The genius is in you.